history of the Philippines. The 21st century literary period.
Hola! Soy Dora! Naboboring na rin ba kayo katulad ko? Nababaliw na rin ba kayo dahil sa tagal ng quarantine? Naku, huwag kayo mag-alala, hindi kayo nag-iisa. Kayo ba? Namimiss nyo na rin bang maglakwatsa? Ano kaya pwede natin gawin para makapag-travel tayo kahit nasa bahay lang? Ha? May notification ako sa phone. Ano kaya yun? Ha? Hala? Asan ako? Ito ba yung heaven? Lord, hello, hello?
Asumera ka? Mabait ka bang bata ka?
Ay, hala, Lord. Oo naman, mabait ako, Lord. No? Ano ka ba? Ha?
Di ako si Lord. Anyway,
Nasa impyerno ako, gano'n. Nasa impyerno ba to, Lord? Asan talaga?
patapusin mo kaya ako.
Ay, sorry.
Lord, total, gusto mo namang maglakbay ng libre. Eh di ayan, maglakwatsa ka na. Pero, makakalabas ka lang kapag nagawa mo ang iyong misyon, Dora. O siya, bahala ka na sa buhay mo, Dora. Lakarin mo lang yung espesyal na daan.
Wow! Nasa Instagram talaga ako? For real? Wow! Ano kaya itong nasa story?
Bilingual education, which was initiated by the Board of National Education as early as 1958 and continued up to present, resulted in the deterioration of English in the different levels of education. The focus of education and culture was on problems of national identity, on reorientation, and a firm resolve to carry out plans and programs.
Anong kinalaman ko dito, Lord? May kinalaman ba ako dito? Lord, hello? Siguro manood na lang ako ng story.
The forms of literature that led during this period were the essays, debates, and poetry. The novels and plays were no different in style from those written before the onset of activism. Comparing present-day conditions to life 40 years ago, nothing has changed much. The situation is even a lot worse than before for many Filipinos.
Wow. Exit lang. Ganun pa. Pero, teka. Does it mean 21st century sa mga pinagsasabi niya? Makatalon nga ulit sa isa pang story.
The world is more cruel now for the majority of Filipinos because of the promotion of material things and the pressure to acquire these things. Life was a lot simpler then. However, the Philippine literature may have changed as Filipino writers continue to show dynamism and innovation. Most importantly, Filipino literature was revived during this period.
Makakayano talaga yung pa-exit na yan, ha? Pero yung mga story, hindi siya related sa akin. Pero, okay na rin. Salamat na rin tayo, Lord. Kasi kahit pa paano, may natutunan naman ako. Saan na ba ako exit na sa... I still can't help but be surprised sa mga exit, entrance. Pero, wow. Is this for real? I'm really in my favorite chilling place? Oh my god. Oh my god. Ang ganda ng lahat na nandito. Maybe I can look around sa mga trailers. Panoorin ko na rin yun, no? Para paglabas ko dito, alam ko na yung panoorin ko mamaya. Tara!
Hi, I'm Mike. I'm Benji. Sorry, I'm not interested. Hi, Benji. Hello, Mike. Benji, sama ka? Saan na naman tayo pupunta? We're done, Mike. Mike, bahal kita. Let's do it. Nagsama na tayo sa isang bubong para malaman natin ito nararamdaman natin.
Hey Love by Honorario Bartolome de Dios states a love story of two individuals in the persons of Benji and Mike who belong to the same sex. At this time, the fight for LGBT rights movement has already begun. Literature was one of the primary mediums that was used and is still being used for the fight for equality.
Wow! Wow! Siguro yung susunod dito, mas maganda rin. Tara, check natin.
Ngayong buwan ng kababaihan,
Aanin mo naman ang isang babaeng walang sarili.
tumaya ng pambihirang kwento
Hiyang-hiya ka ng asawa mo. Asawa muna ng iba bago mo naging asawa.
ng isang inang naninindigan
Wala akong ginagawang masama! Akala mo lang wala! Pero meron!
lumalaban
Don't you go telling me what's good for my children!
at nagmamahal.
Bawat kuha ni Rafi kay OJ, parang nawawalan ako ng isang anak. Ako pa rin ang nanay niyo habang buhay.
Mula ulo hanggang paa, ina ako. Hindi ako masamang tao. Hindi ako masamang ina.
Bata, Paano Ka Ginawa is a novel written in Filipino by the female writer Luwalhati Bautista. It mirrors the unfair treatment of society to women because they are perceived as inferior to men. In this kind of society that the author herself experienced, she wrote a novel that paved the way for women's voices and cries for rights and equality to be heard.
Bata, paano ka ginawa? Luwalhati Bautista? Hala. Ang ganda ng movie na to. Promise, super ganda ng movie na to. Sana panoorin nyo, pero nagmamadali na kasi tayo, kaya trailer lang muna. Tara, sunod na. Naku.
My life hangs like a garment in the dark. I am skin no ghost will live in. Boneless, my arms sag to my knees. My feet in the gully of my buttocks are tucked. Shut, my eyes nest like birds on my belly. I am torn between my heart and my gut. The wings of truth are tired, but I too shall be free of myself. Before me, the door quivers like a butterfly. I will burst it apart. It will fly from its hinges, redeemed. Outside, I will open all things and sing. Doors shaken and shocked shall slam on my wings.
Neil Garcia is the author of numerous poetry collections and works in literary and cultural criticism, including Closet Quavers. As an editor of the famous Ladlad series of Filipino gay writing, he revealed the truth about the second-class status of LGBT people in the Philippines together with other LGBT groups as a way of political activism. His advocacy to fight against discrimination to any person based on sexual orientation led him to write the first anthologies of gay and lesbian writing in the Philippines. With this, it can be concluded that a person's strong principle and stand in life can greatly influence his works.
Grabe! I admire the courage of coming out na pinakita niya. Naku, sa Pilipinas, ang dami pa ng mga relihiyoso. Kaya, very prominent din yung transphobia and homophobia. I just really wish that one day, people will learn how to accept and respect other people. Tara, next na tayo. Ay, no.
Ito si Roberto. Mabuting estudyante.
Kumusta pag-aaral mo?
Okay naman po, Nay.
Promise!
Hindi totoo yan. Ang totoo, hirap ako makipagsabayan sa mga kaklase ko. Lagi akong pagod sa pag-aaral. Ang dami kong homework na hindi ko na ipapasa on time.
Inihahandog ng Viva Films at MVP Entertainment ang #1 best-selling book ni Bob Ong. Aba, nagkakapasa na pala ako. The movie!
Ha?
Ha?
Ano yun? Aba, nakakabasa na pala ako. The movie! Ang pelikula para sa mga naging teacher's pet, naging teacher's enemy, nangopya, nagpakopya, nag-cutting classes, umabsent, nag-JS, sumulat sa slambok, nagkamedal, na-kick out, nagkaroon ng special someone, iniwan ni special someone, binalikan ni special someone, iniwan ulit ni special someone. Ang kwento ng estudyanteng Pinoy.
This is a police car. It has batteries.
From the 80s
Uy, palabas na pala yung bagets. Alikanod tayo.
to the 90s to the 2000s and beyond.
Makakahanap ka rin ng taong makakapagpasaya sa'yo.
I did. Kaso lang, iba yung gusto niya eh.
Bob Ong's Aba, nakakabasa na pala ako. The movie. Starring Jericho Rosales as Roberto Ong.
Grabe. Watching this movie, I'm really sure I'm gonna miss my high school life. Nako, if only I can stay at good places with good people. Just enjoying life. Kahit na nasistress ka, gusto mong umiyak dahil sa dami ng schoolwork, okay lang kasi na dyan yung mga
The
kaibigan mo,
novel
eh, di ba?
details what are supposedly the childhood memories of the author, from his earliest days as a student until his first few years at work.
Alam nyo, sa bahay, hindi naman ako nag-exercise eh. Dito kanina pa ako talon ng talon, napapagod na ako. Pero, saan ba yung susunod na destination? Sa Twitter. Sa Twitter tayo pupunta. Ano naman kaya trending kaya ngayon doon? Kasi kahapon, when I checked my account, meron silang kinakancel na lalaki. Kasi, sabi niya, wala daw kwento yung mga Filipino writers. Kaya ayun, naglabas ang lahat ng mga harassment issues niya. Buti nga. Pero, ba't ako nagsasalita mag-isa dito? Tara na nga, punta na tayo. Pero asa na ba? Twitter. Ito na. Twitter.
12 years ago, on the 14th day of August, I signed the law that protects women and cancels discrimination against them.
Wow! 12 years na pala, simula na magkaroon ng ganitong batas. Kaya pala, mas lalong lumalakas sa mga kababaihan ngayon. Wow!
Times have changed. Kung dati walang may gustong pag-usapan ang fact na ang babae kaya rin gawin ang ginagawa ng mga lalaki, ngayon open na lahat sa usaping ganyan dahil alam natin na may sarili-sarili ring interes sa mga babae. Wake up, John!
Tama. May kwento. Oo nga naman, di ba? Iba na ang panahon ngayon. Hindi na usong manahimik. Panahon na upang magsalita at mapakinggan.
Nakakahiya ka naman, John. Di ka ba mahal ng mama mo? Wala kang karapatan na apak-apakan ang mga babae o kahit sino nga eh. Kayang-kaya naming umako ng responsibilidad at panindigan lahat ng desisyon namin sa buhay. Eh ikaw?
Grabe ka naman, floating gravity.
How dare you, John? You can't belittle our Filipino writers
Lalo na't malaki ang naiambag nila sa literature natin.
Oh, really? Like what? Wow! Ang kapal ng mukha nitong Jad na to. Grabe, ang kapal ng mukha. Siguro kasing kapal niya to yung taba niya, no? Siguro. Kapal eh, kapal. Kapal ng mukha na ko. Ay.
Well, we have FH Batacan's smaller and smaller circles na na-acknowledge as the first Western-style Filipino crime novel dahil sa methodical approach nito sa featured serial killer. Ate, don't forget the time when Bebangsi was complimented by Ruel Estevera as the funniest writer at the moment. Tsaka yung feminist writer na si Benilda Santos na nanalo ng National Book Award. Hindi yun. Too much boasting for such small accomplishments. Wow, Jan. I can't believe nag-e-exist pa pala yung mga taong sobrang ignorante pero mayabang kahit walang napatunayan. Kung ambag lang din naman pala ang hanap mo, eto link sa Google. Mag-search ka kaysa ipahiya mo palalo yung sarili mo.
Okay, crybaby. I don't listen to weaklings.
You know what? Bahala ka sa buhay mo. Dun ka na lang sa kulungan magpakabobo. Buti na lang this issue came up talaga. E di na-expose yung mga kabubuyan mo.
Kapal talaga yan, no? Pigilan niyo ako. Pigilan niyo. Pigilan niyo talaga ako. Nanggigigil ako dito eh, no? Nanggigigil talaga ako eh. Ay, naku. Bahala na nga. Case solved na to. Exit na ako. Ay, naku. Ay, saan na naman ba ako nito? Sa Zoom? Sa Zoom ba ako? Tara na. Pagod na ako. Zoom na tayo. Nakakahilo talaga itong pag-exit at pag-enter sa bawat apps.
Dora, dito ka rin pala.
Uy, andito ka rin pala?
Oo, dito. Kanina pa ako dito, insan.
Paano ka napunta dito?
Ganito kasi yun. May hinahalongkat lang dito sa, sa mouse na to. Ayun. Ewan ko kung paano napunta dito.
Hala! Sino to?
Magandang umaga. Kayo ba ang mag-interview sa akin?
Interview?
Ito na ata kailangan natin gawin.
Hindi mo nga kilala eh. Ako pa kaya? Ito talaga si Diego eh. Sige, tanungin ko na lang. Sino po kayo?
Ako? I am an author. I usually write literary pieces tackling diaspora, politics, romance, etc. I am currently working on my upcoming book entitled DDS and Dilawan, a clown-to-clown conversation.
Wow, ganda naman po ng libro nyo. Title pa lang, nakaka-excite na.
Hindi naman. Simulan natin na ang interview.
Sige po. Okay, first question. What is diaspora?
Diaspora means scattering. Diaspora was originally used when the Jews were forced into exile in Babylon. Now, diaspora stands for all kinds of migration, whether forced or voluntary. There are actually 5 types of diaspora. We have imperial, victim, labor, trade, and cultural diaspora.
How does the diaspora before differ from the diaspora now?
Unlike before, people were forced to migrate. But now in the 21st century era, people willingly settle down into other foreign countries. With the advent of globalization, labor migration has become a worldwide phenomenon. People are crossing borders to search for a better job opportunities and to provide a better future for their families.
Ako naman po. How will you describe the Filipino diasporic? And how does it help the Philippines?
In my opinion, Filipino diasporic literature is an evolving and expanding trend and genre. We can use this as a cultural diplomacy tool and an instrument to counter anti-immigrant sentiment.
Aside from your works, do you know any diasporic literary works?
Yes, I know three. The Rosales House by Miss Migs Bravo Dot, which focuses on the perspective of Filipino professionals who are the majority in their country of destination. Second, Miss Donna Avellana Kanzler's The Overseas Fabulous Pinay, a modern Filipina's handbook on how to thrive abroad, which aims to uplift the image of overseas Filipinas away from the stereotype of being miserable and lonely. Lastly, 58 Minutes in Driftland of Miss ISA Crisostomo Lopez, which gives life to the story of a young immigrant to the US.
Wow! May naitutulong po pala yung Filipino diaspora sa Philippines. Wow!
Oo naman.
Dumako naman po tayo sa popular literature. What is popular literature?
Popular literature includes those writings intended for the masses and those that find favor with large audiences. It is designed primarily for entertainment and it generally does not seek a high degree of formal beauty. With the 21st century literary period, writers used unconventional techniques in writing. Everybody can be a writer in any way they want. Literature has become a platform for self-expression.
Wow! Is that why Wattpad has become a popular platform for Filipino writers?
Yes,
Ilang percent na lang ang battery?
Hala! Oo nga pala, Diego, no?
Last question po, nagmamadali na kami. Do you know any popular literary books?
huwag kayong maingay ha.
Debo.
Pero ako si Bob Ong.
Wow.
My works as Bob Ong were, aba, nakakabasa na pala ako. Bakit baligtad magbasa ng libro ang mga Pilipino? Ang paboritong libro ni Judas, Stainless Longganisa, Kapitan Sino, at marami pang iba.
Nakakaasa po kayo sa amin. Maraming salamat po, Babong. Mr. Simbolan. So, ulitin po. Paalam!
Alam po.